You can start.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here are some synonyms for the word predict, and this is kind of tough. So,
I like this very much.
okay, so can anyone guess what some of these words are?
It will test your vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Predict.
I'll give you a hint on number 3, for instance, something you might turn on the news and someone might be talking about the weather. What do you know the English word for number 3?
Should I say? Should I say? Forecast.
Yes. Forecast. Good one.
Yeah.
So if that sometimes is a job occupation by adding er, forecaster. The person on the news is a weather forecaster. That's what we call it. Okay, anybody else got one that they can guess?
John raising his hand.
Yes, ma'am, Lisa.
Oh, I see John raising his hand.
John, is your hand up? Is your hand up? Did you want to guess one of these words?
So somebody already guessed forecast, right?
Yes.
So Antarctic for number 1, is that correct?
We're just looking for some synonyms or things that mean predict. But how about if you look at number 2, it's going to start with the same letters as forecast. So the beginning of that number 2 is going to be
Should I say,
4.
ma'am? Should I say? Okay.
Let's, John, can you guess if number 2, if the first part of it is 4, F-O-R-E, and you're going to predict something, can you guess a word in the last blank, E blank? For, you'd use your eyes for this one.
Can I tell?
Is it okay, John, for Sajad to guess?
Yeah.
Okay, Sajad.
C.
For C, good one. Yeah. Oftentimes we would say like, oh, how did they foresee the future? I'm just amazed that they could predict this happening. So, all right. Number 5 is also a synonym for predict, but it uses a word for C that starts with V. Sajad?
Envision.
Envision. Okay, anybody else got some synonyms for the word predict? How about?
Students, I will tell you, I thought this was very difficult. So if you're finding it difficult, don't feel bad because it was hard even for me.
Yeah, it was hard. Let's look at the next slide because all of the words for predict are on the next slide.
I think the first one is anticipate. First one.
Thank you, sir. Okay, anticipate. Good. Anticipate, foresee, forecast, envision. How about number 4?
Number 4.
Like, I'll give you a hint. It's like your birthday, people are going to bring you a gift and you're halfway just so sure of it. Starts with EX.
Expect something.
You would expect it.
Yes.
Okay. John, was that what you were going to say too? Okay, let's go to the next. So here is your chance to make up sentences. Use the words to create any predictions about the future. So you don't have to have it be about the moon or about space, but there's an example. I predict humans will have a permanent colony on Mars around 2030. So let's just think of when you're ready to use the word bank in a sentence, raise your hand and we will listen to your prediction.
Yes, have you got what ma'am said just now? Have you understood?
Should I start to give an example?
She wants you to use this word in your own sentences.
So okay, I'll start. I'm going to use the word anticipate. I anticipate that I will have a happy day today.
Thank you.
Or you could say, I expect to have a happy day today.
Thank you.
Who else can put together a word using a word from the word bank?
Yes, Sajjad.
Sajjad? Sajjad.
I expect to have a good sleep tonight.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
We're going to call on everybody. Be thinking of something.
Yeah, John.
John, what was your?
My forecast for today is it's going to be a sunny day, but at the night it's going to start raining a little.
Thank you.
That's good. Who else has one? Shivansh?
I'm not understanding.
We want you to make up a sentence using one of those 5 words that's on the bottom. We call that a word bank when there's a grouping of words. So we want you to make up a sentence that uses one of those words.
Okay. John, do you have another sentence that you could use as an example?
No, ma'am.
John,
Yeah.
can you give another example to the other students?
I foresee that I have to go to school soon.
That's true.
There you go. Or think of the word, for me, the easiest word there is expect. That's the easiest word for me to use. So can you think of a way you could use the word expect? Like, my parents expect me to clean up my room.
Yeah. So,
Think of a word and use any of those words, but for me, expect is the easiest one to use. Anybody?
I foresee a trouble in learning that answer.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Thank you.
I envision that you are all going to be excellent speakers of English.
wow.
Every day that I envision you getting better and better every day. And I'm very impressed with how well you speak. So, somebody want to give it a try just for fun? Okay, let's move on. Who would like to read this?
Ma'am,
Yes, go ahead.
there are 2 questions we all asked. Where did we come from? And are we alone in the universe? And if you want to answer these 2 questions, you have to explore space.
Okay. Anybody have something to say about the pictures that they see there? Shivansh?
Ma'am, we can see there moon, galaxy, and
some planets.
more planets.
A group of planets are together at an angle from the Earth.
There are 7 planets. 8 planets are there. And
Seven.
in the first video, in the first photo, there is a picture of a moon. In second picture, there is a one galaxy. And in third, something groups of planets are there. There are 7 or 8 planets are there.
7.
I think. Yes, sir.
Lisa?
I was very interested in the words because sometimes I wonder, why are countries and companies spending millions and millions and millions of dollars or whatever the local currency is, to go to space when we have people on Earth that don't have enough food, or we have roads that need to be repaired, or we need to build hospitals. Why are we spending money to go into space?
Wow.
And I wonder that when I see these kinds of things, because it costs so much money. So I really liked reading the words in this slide, because it said, where do we come from, and are we alone in the universe? And if you want to answer those questions, 2 questions, you have to explore space. So that was a good answer to the question that I always think, why are they spending so much money on those rockets? And we have people that don't have enough food. So that answered it for me.
Yeah, back when I was a young girl, there was a show on television, and it always started out with this question or this statement: space, the final frontier. So a frontier would be a place that very few people have ever seen. And I think some humans are born to be explorers. And I think that's a strong drive that we have. So that's my opinion. What do you think, John?
I agree that people like to visit new places and explore stuff. I think one of the reasons people want to go to the moon and make a base is because it's beginning to the point where in the future there's going to be too many people on Earth and not enough resources.
Yeah, there's lots to think about, isn't there? Let's go to the next question. Next slides. Here's some questions for you. Yeah, Shivansh, can you read the first question?
Ma'am,
Yes,
excuse me. I think, ma'am, Susan, you are not visible in your camera. I think your camera got disturbed.
Oh, okay. You can hear my voice though?
Yeah, voice is clear.
It might be because John and I share the same Google.
Okay.
So
okay.
he might be, it's because his Google is on. So let's just go and continue and
Okay.
for a little bit.
ma'am, should I read?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you believe that these questions can be answered through space exploration?
How about you? Who'd like to answer that?
Shall we go on to the second question, Manad?
Yes. Are these questions something that ever out
Ever
about
thought about?
ever thought about?
And
Well, wait a minute. I'm sure that at school you talked about space exploration. So
Yeah.
what were some of the things that were brought up in class? I'm really curious about your views on this.
Actually, in our school, we have a big auditorium. So in that auditorium, we call all the children just to watch the live program of this ISRO. And when it was being launched, so we were witnessing it directly. And I also agree with Ma'am Lisa's statement when she says that when a lot of people have so many important work like food, shelter, and so many things. So why to spend that much means to some extent, she's also right. Because while teaching the economics subject in the senior college, I went through with so many books. In one of the book, I like one sentence very much. Maybe more than 15, 20 years ago, I read it, but I like that sentence. That is the fact. Poverty anywhere is always a threat to prosperity everywhere. Means if people are poor, then that can lead to the crime and some other kind of negativity in the society. So one part of the country cannot just go for the prosperity and the later part is just living in a very downtrodden situation or living backward life. So it cannot be like that. The whole country should develop. And on the other side also, if we see about the future, like John said, if we see about the future, because resources will not be available, the population is growing day by day. So a situation might come when we need more and more bigger space to live. So that is also a big plunge in the exploration of a new resource, we can say. So that is also one of the important step that the governments of different countries are taking. Because if we stop such kind of researches, then definitely we will have a huge problem in future. It might be people will be facing the scarcity of food. They will be facing the scarcity of the place to live. Like already we have seen in some part of the world, the artificial islands are started. Though people are looking it in such a very unique way, but that is also showing that we need more land. Do you agree with
Well,
me?
with those, I
Yeah.
love those words of wisdom. And with that, I think is the perfect time to stop. And hopefully today was enlightening. And Sartak, did you have one more thing to say?
Ma'am, newly the ISRO has said the PSLV rocket, the Aditya L1 has sent in on the 2nd September at 11:50.
Okay.
Like Chandrayaan 3, the newly the Aditya one has launched.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to take my grandchildren to school. Thank you, John, for joining us today. And thank you all for coming and for Sir
Thank
for
you so
hosting
much.
this.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It was a very lovely, more informative, and more enlightening session so far. And I'm going to put it on the YouTube today, just now after this session is over.
See you all tomorrow. Bye, John.
Okay, bye bye. Have a good day.
Sir,
Bye, bye, ma'am.
sir, sir.